It's Movie Day. I'm Ray Love Jr.
And I'm Tre'vell Anderson.
And we are Seated, the blackest show about movies.
Yes. On today's show, we are discussing Avatar, Fire and Ash. Yes, there's another one. Not you blowing. Okay.
Smoke. You know, like, what is the cartoon series Avatar? And one of them does fire, but wrong series, not related. Keep on.
Yeah.
Keep on, girl. Do your show.
Well, yes. Okay, do the show. But before we get into Avatar, I'm sure we have plenty of thoughts. We're going to do a quick round of Fresh Out. So these are smaller capsule, quick reviews and feelings about movies that we're probably not going to do a full episode on. And these two that we're talking about today are two that you can, put up on the Netflix, okay, and watch at home.
Let's start with your Fresh Out. What'd you get into this past week?
So the only film that I have seen outside of the episodes we've been recording is the Diddy documentary on Netflix. It's called Diddy: The Reckoning. And and it's a series. We should say it's not a film per se, but I just you see, did you watch it?
I actually have not watched it, but I hear everyone talking about it. It seems to really fill in the gaps of what folks have perceived to be the experience of one Shawn Puffy Combs throughout that trial. So it seems to be something that is engaging for the people. What were your initial thoughts?
I think that the circus around the doc has overshadowed the doc series itself. That's what I feel. I feel like we're all talking about 50 Cent being petty and the back and forth, all of that. And we're not, I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know. And it did make me say in my head, this is a 4-part series, but they 45 minutes each. It's a movie length in and of itself, each episode. Should it have been a traditional movie? Would you have ever seen the Diddy doc if it went to theaters?
Probably, because we don't really get a lot of documentaries in theaters, and so whenever one does just so happen to make a theatrical run, I'm in there.
Yeah.
What's the in there? What's the?
Oh, I thought I'm talking about In It. That one? I'm talking about In It. Please cut it out.
I'm so ATL.
Yeah, I'm so ATL. Okay, cut it out. But yeah, I just, it was just the one thing that I saw that I know that like a lot of other people are talking about. And it's quite interesting. I don't even really know what I want to say about it, if I'm being honest, which I think is a sign of the times.
Yeah. I hear a lot of like small characters that have come across or crossed paths with Diddy have been mentioned in it, but the one person I haven't heard mentioned is T.D. Jakes, the Reverend himself. And I recall there was a point where they said he was involved or rumored to have like been a part of the freak-offs or something. I don't know. Allegedly, they say these things. So I was like, is there a moment where you see swallowed up in the documentary or whatnot?
No, there is not. There is not. Ray Love Jr. There is not. But
all right.
Your Fresh Out for this week is also over on the Netflix, and it is a proper movie.
It is indeed. However, I hate to even credit this to being a Netflix movie, but it absolutely is a Netflix movie. Because when I first saw it, it was a theatrical release. And I think Rian Johnson, who's the director and writer of this series, got his deal off of the massive success that it had. So I'm talking about the new whodunit murder mystery film, Wake Up Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery, which, can we talk about how they name these movies? I don't know why they just didn't name it Knives Out 3 or Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man instead of Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. Nevertheless,
Fair.
I really love this series. Like, it's, for me, I told you I love whodunits. I love, like, especially like those dinner mystery types of things. And this one is a third installment in the series where the one continuous thread across all films is the character Benoit Blanc. And he plays the detective, essentially, who comes in to crack the case of the central murder of the story. And he's played by Daniel Craig, who we know being, what was he, Bond? So it's a different type of role for him. In this movie, he has long hair, which becomes like a plot device to throw off, I guess, different characters that also have similar builds and silhouettes. But I enjoyed it. We had another Josh O'Connor performance. I mentioned him before, having several movies come out in theaters where he plays a priest who is of a non-traditional background, like he's known to be a boxer or a fighter, and he's sent to this town in New York to essentially bring one of the priests back into order and get his flock back in shape. And ultimately, the priest dies, and we see them try to solve the murders from there. And I really just enjoy this, to be honest. I've seen all three of them. The last one, while it starred one of my faves, Chanel Monáe, it just did not feel like what the first one really created when it comes to like the murder mystery universe, versus the first one, which was very much so based in like an old home with a smaller space. It felt like the second one was more wide and sleek and more modern, and this one returns to that rustic vibe, putting us in a church that had like very old architecture and putting us back in the woods and giving us like that rustic environment, which I really appreciated. It was just a good time. I got to see it in a theater, which I think that is the one thing that I love filmmakers require with their agreements they're making with these streamers, is making sure their films get some type of theatrical run, whether it is 2-3 weeks. I appreciate that, especially now that I'm not in LA, a city that has like a Netflix-owned theater. It was great to be able to go to a theater, see the film with an audience. The audience added to that experience, and it was great. I would highly recommend folks seek out Wake Up Dead Man. It's on Netflix, so everyone has access to it. We're going into our holiday breaks as the year winds down, so I think us both having recommendations that are accessible via streaming.
Well, now, I didn't tell y'all to go watch that documentary now. I didn't.
But they can.
You can. It is an option if that is what you would like to do, but I'm not recommending it. We all know what happened. Half of us lived it. You know what I mean?
Not me, girl.
Well, I don't mean like that. I just mean...
We know you be freaking off, Tre'vell. Let the people know.
I only freak off with Jesus, okay?
Hallelujah.
Okay.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up our Fresh Out segment this week. I think we have some pretty good recommendations, one way or the other. We're going to take a quick break and jump back in to discuss Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Yes.
The last Avatar was a global juggernaut, but for Black audiences, the vibe was complicated. We showed up, sure, but the discourse wasn't about the visuals. It was about the white savior of it all. It feels to me that the blockbuster is in an unstable place. We're living in a post-Black Panther world, yet with Avatar, we're still watching indigenous people coded as Black, but led by the outsider.
Look, I'm a Marine. I'm not taking a knife to a gunfight. A prayer. So what am I supposed to do? I can't run. I can't fight. Well, that's right. Awa will provide. Yeah? So where was Awa? Where was Awa when our son...
Jake! I'm in this place where I have nothing. Not my people. Not my forest. Even my father's bow is gone. All I have is my faith that this is the Great Mother's plan.
You have this family.
Now, Fire and Ash introduces the Ash people, an antagonistic tribe risking a pivot from the noble savage trope to something much more dangerous. So this week, we're seated and asking the question, can a franchise built on outdated racial tropes ever truly evolve, or is the spectacle enough to make us look past its flaws? All right, Tre'vell, so let me know, where do you stand when it comes to the politics of Pandora?
You know, you ate that. So this, I'm struggling with where to start with this film because there's a lot going on. I think, obviously, we should talk about our relationships to the first two films, right? Because this is a threequel, okay? They done put all this money into these blue people and ash people now.
Matt, you know what I'm just catching?
What?
Ash. Are they calling us ashy?
Okay, girl. Hold.
I'm sorry. Continue.
What did you think of the first two Avatars? Have you seen them? What's your deal?
You know what's interesting is that I've seen both of these movies during their opening weekends, probably at least the first one more than once, but none of them really stick to me. It's one of those movies that it's like a vibe and experience. I kind of compare it to when you go to a theme park and you're going through those rides and you're just like kind of in awe of how they've imagined these worlds. But then you leave the ride and you're done. It's like, oh, that was fun. You have a picture and that's it. Move on from it. That's really how these Avatars movies feel to me, which is something that I'm so confused about, how it becomes such a huge box office performer without having that like cultural resonance, if that makes sense.
Well, I think it's important that we note that when the first film came out, the technology on display, right, was like part of the lore. Yeah. Right? It was like the fact that it was 3 hours was part of the lore, right? That like brought us in. I don't think I did not see the first Avatar in a theater. And I think I've probably only seen a portion of the first Avatar.
Wow, that's interesting because, you know, for me, I'm someone who believes the markings of a great film, especially films that are sequels or threequels in this case, is the ability for the films to stand on their own without having to do homework to see the past film. And so knowing that you haven't seen the first one, I'm curious to how you picked up in the second one, because I know you mentioned in past episodes that you actually went to see the last one in 40X. You saw Way of Water in 40X, which is wild, but also makes sense for the format of the film to me.
That's how it was with water.
This bitch is shaking the table.
Very that with water coming at you and gusts of wind. I hated it. I hated the experience just because it was my first time. I wasn't aware that was happening, so it was new, and you have to put on the 3D glasses or the 4D glasses or whatever, and as someone who wears glasses, I do not wear contacts. I only wear glasses.
We there.
I cannot see without these mofos. Okay, so I have to put. I am. So I have to put the 3D glasses over my glasses, which, depending on the film in the past, has been various different kinds of experiences. I also get motion sickness fairly easily. So watching the second Avatar in 4DX did not have a great experience. But I agree with the point you made before about the film really feeling more like a vibe. And a ride that like once you get off, you're like, okay, well, on to the next. It's
like a simulation.
It didn't stick to me. It didn't stick. Neither what I've seen didn't stick to me. And And I remember watching the second movie and being like, so y'all spent all this money on this? Like, beautiful gowns, they look great or whatever, but like...
And it shouldn't be understated when you say all this money. We should actually define what all this money means when it comes to the budgets of these films. We're talking excess of $300-400 million. Like, they are really shelling it out for these films in ways
Titty?
Yes.
I'm sorry, that's a beauty shop reference. That's a beauty shop reference.
I know, and I'm trying to stay the course because you know I can go deep into that.
Okay, yes. Let's bring back.
But it's like so much money gets spent on these films, and I often question, like, is it worth this level of investment for the stories they're trying to tell? And how do you get something like this greenlit? Like, I always think about, especially in current times, Corey Jefferson's charge to the industry when he won his Academy Award for American Fiction, saying that instead of making one $100 million movie, how about we make 10 $10 million movies, and we have more cultural impact, and we are able to get more stories told by these filmmakers and auteurs.
I understand that this is a risk-averse industry. I get it. But $200 million movies are also a risk, you know? And it doesn't always work out, but you take the risk anyway. And instead of making one $200 million movie, try making 20 $10 million movies.
And just sitting in that theater, I'm like, wow, they really spent a lot of money on this movie. And like, you see it. Like, the technology is great. Like, you see it. James Cameron has like really pushed forward CGI, computer generated imagery, and it's like, yeah, it's there, but also like, is it worth it if it's not making an impact in the way that, say, Jurassic Park did as a franchise of the era? But
when you say not making the impact, has it not made an impact? This has made billions of dollars. This franchise has made billions of dollars.
So how do we measure impact, Tre'vell?
Well,
is it money or is it?
It's got. I mean, I think it's a combination of a variety of factors, right? I think it is money, right? I think it is. I mean, this movie is one of the reasons why Zoe Saldaña is Zoe Saldaña.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. This is one of the reasons why she can call herself, going into Amelia Perez. You know, this is one. This movie and that other one where she green, okay, are the reasons why she can get in blackface and play Nina Simone. You know,
we're gonna put a pin in that blackface.
Yes, okay, but yeah, I just wanted to say that it is I think we can have this conversation, right, about the money, the craft, and what it takes to even do this computer-generated image. But it always, for me, with any good movie, has to come down to the story and the script at the center. And what I did not connect to about the second film, I also don't connect to about Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Which I think is a fair and valid criticism. But before we dive deep into that, I think we need to, as per usual, give the director some, because he is the man responsible for this film experience. So, of course, we're talking about James Cameron, affectionately known as Big Jim to some.
Ooh.
And how familiar are you with his filmography, his background?
You ask this question every episode. And so you would think that I had already pre-looked this up. But I'm Googling it right now because I had outside of Avatar, I struggle to equate him with a movie, if I'm being honest. But I see here Titanic. He did Titanic.
He did. Yep.
Voila. Yep. I don't know these other movies, so.
I mean, I'm sure you know Aliens.
Oh, okay, that didn't come up.
Terminator.
Oh, that didn't come up on my list.
Yeah.
Oh, it's here. I see it. Oh, Rambo. Okay.
So yeah, he's done quite a bit. And he's someone who I think is known for, in his past, taking smaller budgets and really making a big spectacle with them, which I guess that's what really affirmed or validated these huge budgets that he was greenlit for this Avatar series. So yeah, I can't say that I'm a big fan of his, but I know his work.
Yeah, I guess I do too. Did you know he is the second highest grossing film director of all time?
That tracks, because Avatar alone, like I feel like those movies
over
are
8
the reason
billion
why.
worldwide, and
That
growing.
makes sense. Yeah,
and growing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So okay, yeah. So that's James Cameron of it all. What is your overall take? Your overall feeling about the film? Like what you asked in the introduction this question around, is it a new kind of trope? Is it a reworking the tropes in a different way?
I have so many thoughts, man. Like, I was sitting in that theater, I had my notebook, and every time something came up, which was often because we can't get by the fact that this movie is over 3 hours long. What's the runtime? Like 3 hours and 19 minutes or something like that?
Yep, right there. Mm-hmm.
So you have time and space to really digest and poke and prod questions because of how this film is set up. Like, a lot of the moments that are exciting are followed up by scenes that are so not lethargic, but it makes the film feel a bit lethargic because we speed up and slow down so frequently in the movie that I really sat and wrote a lot of questions down that I had about the movie. The first question is maybe you can help me answer this. Who is the protagonist of this movie?
The protagonist is Zoe Saldaña.
Is it?
And her man.
Is it?
Yes.
So
or the white boy, the little white boy.
Exactly.
Tarzan.
That was the thing that
That's not his
struggle
name.
with. They kept
Monkey.
falling between his experience and the Na'vi people's experience, and I was like, it feels like, well, he has a few names. I think his government name in the film is like Miles or something.
Oh.
And then his dad or the humans nickname him Spider, and then the Na'vi people name him Monkey Boy or something like that. So for this conversation, I think I'm probably most comfortable referencing him as Spider because Monkey Boy feels...
feels
away.
He do give Tarzan.
He gives Tarzan, but he also is performing what he visualizes or sees the Na'vi people to be in a way that feels, what's the word I'm looking for? Not performative, but what's the word I'm looking for, Tre'vell? Help me out here,
what's
when
the
white
word?
People,
yes.
When white people do what black... why is it escaping me?
It's not cultural appreciation. It's
appropriation.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
A lot of times it feels like he's appropriating the culture and mannerisms of the Na'vi people, which made me uncomfortable constantly throughout the film. And specifically stood out in the moment when I realized his abilities to code switch in the performance of it all. When they're like talking to the whales and he comes back and returns after, not to give any spoilers, after he inherits a power of sort. And one of the people observes him doing this thing that he wasn't able to do before. And he comes back with like, oh yeah, dude, I got this. And he goes back into like his white boy speak, I'll say. And I'm like, oh, so this Na'vi dialect you take on is just when you're around these people and want to feel hip in a way that, white people tend to do. And so that was something that like really bothered me with him being
well. But if he's a white
film.
boy, why if that concept, that idea is something that you feel white people do, why is it that bothered you, or is it the fact that the character is kind of treated in some ways as a center.
He feels like an avatar, no pun intended, for how black people feel they have to, how white people feel they have to show up in black spaces in order to be accepted.
Because
so they act like them.
The blue people are black to you?
So that's the complexity of it all that like really frustrates me as I'm viewing this film, because what you're displaying a bunch of indigenous cultures, not necessarily black, but these are a bunch of different indigenous cultures that can be different things. These are other people. These are not the colonizer. These are not white people. And so the performance of that gets frustrating when you see this white boy with locks, and we know locks to be a hairstyle of typically black people. And there's so many different, it's like the white man using all of these different characteristics of these different cultures to create this character to represent all of them, so that it doesn't feel targeted to one people, so that you can say that this is kind of like a colorblind situation when it's really not. And you're shifting kind of the paradox of how you can be critiqued about how you're representing a people, because you're including all these different things into one amalgamation of a thing. And that's one of the things that was so disorienting for me watching the movie.
Mm-hmm. Now, is this a new feeling? Because Spider was in at least the second one. I don't know if he was in the first.
He's never been centered in this way that has me asking if he's a damn protagonist. Like,
okay.
There was so much more of him in this movie than there have been in past films that forces me to ask questions about his character, because so many of the plot points are driven by his presence in this world. Mm-hmm. Like, the movie opens up with him being challenged by the fact that he can't breathe, and the people having to literally leave their space to get him to safety, to get back to his people. On one hand, you have Neytiri's character wanting to kick him out of the village, and then on the other hand, you have them taking the whole family and putting the whole family at risk in order to get him there. And then, like, the people they're traveling with.
Let's be careful on the spoilers, friend.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. But yes, this is how passionate I felt about his character.
And the reason why I want to slow you down is, and at least I want to offer this question, is because the reality is what we get in Avatar: Fire and Ash is a decades-long culmination of a story that starts in the first film. Mm-hmm. Right. And I haven't seen it all the way, but I can tell from this film that it starts at least in maybe it starts in the second film, not in terms of the introduction of the Spider character, and the relationship between the blue guy who acts as his father, and the military guy, who also
is his birth father.
Right. Okay. Yes. Which I don't think that's a spoiler.
It's not. It's in the second one.
Right. Okay. And so to me, I wonder about this just being a story coming full circle, and how it was always about the white boy at the center, or it was always about because even the main male character was turned into Avatar.
Yeah,
but
the difference here is how we have culturally moved forward on these topics. At the time that the first Avatar came out, the conversation was different around this type of thing, and we hadn't had something like a Black Panther in the space that depicted so many different cultures in a more well-informed and sensitive way, where Avatar and Pandora, it feels like, has not come up to speed, and instead of coming up to speed, they are doubling down on centering the whiteness of the story. Because in the first film, what happens is we essentially have a story of acceptance of the white man into the tribe. Right. And because it's done through romance and love and all of that stuff, and that story closes that way. And then this, I will say, Fire and Ash is more so attached or tacked on to Way of Water, because it finishes that story kind of similarly to how Wicked for Good finishes Wicked, where Fire and Ash feels like the act 2 of the story that started in Way of Water.
Okay. I think that what I want to offer for consideration, because what we are doing here in this conversation is we're putting our real world realities on top of this movie. Right. Mm-hmm. And you're in the bringing up of the Black Panther example, in the bringing up of the ways that we are not where we were when the first film came out. I'm reminded of our conversation about Zootopia 2 the other week, right? Where we said something fairly similar. I think we are supposed to, if we're meeting the filmmaker where they are, in terms of the creation that they're putting on screen, I think we're supposed to divorce our real world from their world. And if I'm in their world and the world that they built, and I don't look at the locks or the micro braids, as elements of blackness, and I just look at them as elements of the Na'vi people, right? And how this world shows up, it allows me to get into the story a little easier. And I think the problem, though, with the film is, for me, once you get into the story, it itself doesn't hold up. Yeah. Right. And so both on feel like what we're talking here is both on the kind of, cultural general read, right, of those similarities that we see between our real world and this world. And also on that deeper level in terms of the actual script here is just boring. And it reminds me of what you talked about in terms of the pacing, because the best thing about this movie are the action scenes, are the fighting scenes. In 3D, baby, many of them were wonderful. Now, they all went on too long. They all went on too long. They all went on too long.
Since you're here talking about the 3D of it all, but actually, before I go there, I think what you said about this being a fantasy, that is what makes me question whether or not this film was successful in how effective it was able to allow me to feel like I could suspend my reality for the time that the filmmaker had my attention. And I never felt comfortable enough to just give over my imagination to the story that was being told here, because of all of these complexes that I was wrestling with as I saw certain imagery.
Yeah, but you brought those to the screen, is my point.
I mean, they say we bring our experiences to these things, and we can't excuse the traumas that we live. And these stories, ultimately, as artists, come from someone's experiences. And it's worth noting that James Cameron did have a writer's room of sorts to help craft these stories. So it's not fully out of his mind. But that is something that definitely, you're right, it's fantasy, so we should be able to do that. But 3D, I have to bring this up about my movie experience. You know me. I'm open to experiences. I love the theatrical of it all. But I'm not, when it comes to format, I wouldn't say I'm a purist, but I'm also not someone who's wanting or needing that different theatrical experience. And 3D for me is never an experience that I opt for or seek out. And I was frustrated when I went to go and get my ticket for this film, because the nearest theaters within a 20-mile radius of where I am in Miami, all of the screen formats, the only screen formats that were available to me were all 3D. There was not a regular screen that I could see this on for the Thursday. I went to see it on a Thursday night opening. So I was really frustrated at the fact that I had to sit in a Dolby theater for a 3D screening. And I was actually surprised that it was a 3D screen because I intentionally saw that the IMAX was a 3D screen. I said, I don't want to do that, so let me go Dolby. But I think maybe I just overlooked the 3D of it because I assumed that if IMAX is going to be 3D, then the Dolby must be regular format, and it was not the case. And I did not have an option when I went back and looked to try to rebook a ticket for a regular screen that was anywhere within a decent driving radius for me. And it felt restricting and limiting accessibility-wise as a movie viewer. So that was my experience seeing Avatar.
Okay, well, okay. Oh, fine. Sure.
So pushing the conversation forward, one question I do love to ask is who would you say this movie, Avatar Fire and Ash, is for?
The same people the last one was for. You know what I mean? Like, it is, because also of note, similar to Zootopia 2, there isn't a shift in time between the last film and this film, right? It picks up almost immediately after how the end of the second film ends, which I think also gets at the point you made earlier about how the movie in some ways is an artifact of a time, right? Because side note, I could not help but bring myself to say, where are the Vic Madams? Where are the big people of the Navis?
I don't think that's a
No, let me finish. You might not have wanted to see it. But I'm just in my head when I'm thinking of how they are attempting to show us the diversity of this world. I just was like, oh wow, ain't nobody bigger than a size 2 up in here. Interesting.
I will say it's interesting how they characterize the creatures because we notice that the wisest elderly creatures are the whales, which are, the big girls in the sea. So maybe that's their way of representing that.
Well, I don't know if they're being that intentional. But I do see what you mean. Okay, you just gave me something to wrestle with. Okay.
Yeah, and those characters, do we ever see them eat? Are there ever any dining scenes throughout this entire Avatar series? Because one thing that I know is that James Cameron, I think, is vegetarian or vegan or something. So maybe that plays a part in how he depicts size or people. Because I don't think he would be categorized as a gluttonous person to represent the larger person in the ways that we see big people represented on the screen.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. I'm not my business. I just, so I guess I'm the one who brought this up. But it was just something that stood out to me as they were, moving through the world that they created. To your point of our realities versus, what we're seeing on screen. But there's another point that you made earlier that I'm more interested in diving into, which is this idea of is this some sort of modernized version of blackface?
Because where are the black people when it comes to these voice roles?
Oh, because okay. So this is assuming some sort of cultural indigeneity.
You better than me. I would have never went for that word. Huh?
This is assuming some sort of cultural indigeneity between the Na'vi people, right, and what we know and what we understand to be indigenous cultures, generally speaking, but indigenous to these kinds of tropical lands, right?
Yeah, because
is the connection that you're trying to make.
This is fantasy, but he's pulling this from real cultures that have been observed over the years. It's apparent in how things are depicted. So it's on one hand, you want to say these ain't black or indigenous people, but on the other hand, it's we know the source material that you're using to build these worlds and these characters. And within the worlds that you're creating, tropical landscapes, volcanic landscapes, when you look at the people who mine the lands and live on those lands, are historic to those lands, they're not white people.
Well, yeah, listen, I find it so interesting because this, I should note, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I just like to ask questions, just to see, you know what I mean? It makes great television or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, no, there is something there in terms of the cast of this film, and what that means for what we see on screen. I still contend that, I don't know, it took me like 10, 20 minutes to lock into the voices. Because I
never locked into some of them voices, if I'm being 100.
Well, there's that.
Yeah,
there's that.
One of the voices I couldn't get past was Sigourney Weaver's. Like, I know she's playing a character that was essentially put into a Navi's body, but it's just so jarring to hear this, I don't know her age, 70-plus year old woman voicing or representing a character that's supposed to be a teenager, and the way they handle that narrative it was really strange to me. But for me to answer the question about who I think this movie is for, I would definitely say that if you're someone who is into immersive fantasy worlds or like epic adventures, this one is definitely for you. I also think,
like gamers, I said, if you like the last one.
Yeah, I think gamers would really be into this because of like its next level graphic quality of the animation and like the world building that they're doing here, because it really gets into like side quests that take you into different pockets of Pandora, where you get to see the human world at the army base and how that contrasts against how differently the organic living of the Na'vi people are and how steely and technological the conventions of humans are. And so those are people I think would really be into this movie for that. So yeah,
I think my main takeaway or feeling from this is Avatar: Fire and Ash as transformative, as groundbreaking, as fresh as it was when the first one came out? And I hate to say it, but the answer is what, Ray?
No.
Okay.
And to be honest, like, it's not fresh, and more so Avatar Fire and Ash to me is giving like lemon pepper wet fry hard, like the extra crispy girls.
Hold on. No, don't come for the lemon pepper wet extra hard. Them two continents don't meet.
But it's like, I say that because it's like people who make that order, they know what they're going to order. They know what they're looking for. They know their order. And like, if you know the Avatar is for you, you know it's for you. And so that's where I land on that.
So, but you probably know whether it's for you going into it.
You
don't have to be surprised.
Exactly. Third time's the charm, they say. But is this charming?
I had one last question before we get to our seated, stream it, or skip it recommendation. And that is, this feels like yet another movie that we've gotten this year about whether it's fighting back or liberation or autonomy or, you know what I mean? Like there are so many movies we've gotten this year that are all like in some way, shape or form, I think, and maybe this is just how we are, receiving them because of the shit show we are navigating. But I was just like, oh, this is yet another one where it's like, oh, we gotta band together, and fight back.
It's interesting you pick up on that repeated theme in films this year. One of the ones that I picked up on is, it seems that the biracial and interracial love agenda is strong in 2025. Ooh. Now, indulge me here.
Okay, now hold on.
Quite a list of films that touch on this theme.
Interracial.
Yes,
Yeah.
interracial love or biraciality, whichever side of the fence you want to go on. I'm gonna list a few. We got One Battle After Another.
Yes.
Sinners.
Oh, yes.
The Smashing Machine.
Yes.
Good Fortune.
Keep going.
After the Hunt.
I was hoping you would say that. Uh-huh.
A Nice Indian Boy. Did you see that one?
I did. It's on the Hulu, y'all. It's so good.
Mickey 17, which I know you didn't see, but there's a interracial love story in there. Him.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah. Yes, actually, yes.
The one you didn't see, Riff Raff.
Uh-huh.
Another one is, can't believe this, but Magazine Dreams. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I do.
It's like, interracial love and biraciality is a big theme in 2025, it seems, at the box office at least.
Well, listen, they not about to be able to do that no more either. Okay, the way this politics is going. So they got to get their representation where they can and as they can. You know what I mean? Because we are going to be, going, leaving it to Beaver, as it were, in our content shortly.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I can't leave this conversation without addressing is the movie's runtime.
Oh.
Now, you know how I am when it comes to films. Like, I'm open to giving me as much movie as I can get at any given time, as long as the story justifies the length. And I just feel like Avatar Fire and Ash at a runtime of 3 hours and 17 minutes, it just had too much time. It had way too much time to calcify, and I just was not, as I was sitting in that theater, I was like, you did not need this much breathing room to tell the story that I think you were trying to tell, and it felt like James Cameron and the writers were just a bit too indulgent in what they wanted to do, because we know, or we heard, that essentially Fire and Ash became a split from Way of Water because they couldn't allegedly get the movie finished or whatever, so they decided to make it its own standalone film.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that.
And with that knowledge, I'm just like, so you mean to tell me that you couldn't get all of this into your previously 3-hour film, and so you made another full 3-hour film, giving us like essentially 6 hours of story across whatever you're trying to tell from this? Because what starts in Way of Water is kind of finished in Fire and Ash, and I was just like, I love long movies. I was there and seated for The Brutalist. I enjoyed having a matinee to, not a matinee, what do you call that thing where you break from the movies? Lord, this movie got me so heated I can't even think right. Yes, intermission. I love having intermission, making it feel like I was seeing a movie back in the old Hollywood days. But this one, I just was like, it's hard for me to confidently recommend this movie to people, knowing that they have to quite literally gird their loins and their bladder to sit in a movie that it might not pay off if you're looking for a certain thing. And I wanted to use that to parlay us into the conversation about our recommendations on whether or not people should see this movie.
Okay, seed it, stream it, or skip it for Avatar, Fire, and Ash. Where are you leaning? It sounds like we know it.
Tre'vell. It's so hard because
to say goodbye.
There is no in between with this movie because I can't recommend people stream this, because it just would not play well. This movie was made for the big screens. And knowing that it was made for the big screens, I'm like, do I tell people to skip this altogether? Or is it worth the theatrical experience if this is the only movie you're going to see? And this is really messing with me.
I know, because you ain't had to skip it yet. You ain't had to skip it yet.
This is really messing with me.
Well, come on now. Time to decide and put you on a 10-second timer.
Ultimately, I'm going to go with Seated. And I say that because it's not that I regret the viewing experience. I did not regret the time spent in there. It just did not do what I think I would want a movie to do at this scale. It is one of those things that's really hard to compare because there's not really much to compare it to in that space. And it's great to see the spectacle of it. Like, no other movie is doing what James Cameron is doing with the technology here, with the world building here. And for that, it's a Seated, but it's a Seated with an asterisk. So, Seated.
Now, y'all know good and well this is a skip it. if you didn't watch or like the last one, you won't like this one. That is because it's the exact same thing for another 3 hours. Like I don't.
He definitely is. He reheating those nachos. That's for
you
sure.
know
Like,
what
there
I
are some
mean?
scenes that look like they are reskinned and just put into this film based on what we saw in the last film. So yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I am sure. I mean that the world is the world, and it is a computer. It's technology. So there is a copy paste, right? There's, I imagine, but yeah, I'm skip it. Save your $30, all right? And also, kids might like this. This might be. You don't know. I don't know. You don't think so?
Tre'vell, ooh, okay. That's something I'm actually wrestling with.
Actually,
because
I take it back.
This movie had some heavier themes. I don't know, kids.
It's PG-13 for a reason. It's PG-13 for a reason.
Sexual chemistry that's happening that may be a bit too spicy for little kids. And also,
you're right.
There's a moment, like trigger warning for everyone. I think we should give a trigger warning that there's a character who ultimately has.
I don't think we should.
Thoughts of ideation. That I will say I did not like how. I didn't like how they handled that because typically, when they have those types of things in movies, it's like I think a requirement that you put the hotline in there for people.
It's not a requirement.
Oh,
I think it's just like recommended.
Yeah,
but also I didn't stay after the credits, so I don't know if they did have it.
I'm a credit creep, so I was definitely sitting through the credits, and I saw that they had that verbiage in there, but it was deep down in the credits, like past the soundtrack, which we should also note Miley Cyrus has a song on the soundtrack, which I think was just put in there for Oscar consideration for like best song because she is literally the credit song. But yeah, that's worth noting.
I mean, well, yes, that is how that happens.
She showed up to the premiere and she was like, "Yeah, I'm showing up, but I'm only in the last 5 minutes. You have to wait the whole 3 hours to see any of my contributions to the movie."
And
so she has a good humor about it.
And she's now shortlisted though for an Oscar for that category, for that song in that category. So she'll be fine. All right, let's do our Black Critic Spotlight. We are going to be shouting out. Oh wait, no. Rotten Tomatoes first. Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter. Critics are at 67%. That's bad for the record.
Not good.
That's probably our lowest that we've reviewed yet this season.
Quite possibly.
And that's with 158 folks rating it fresh, 78 folks rating it rotten. And then the popcorn meter, now, this is the audiences, okay? 91%. So, again, I think if you liked it the first time, you're going to like it the second time. It's going to make another couple billion, you know what I mean? Particularly internationally. And also, if they're forcing people to pay $30 tickets, to like forcing them to go to 3D, like you were forced to go to 3D. I know you got your AMC or whatever, but you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
I wouldn't. I'm actually kind of surprised by the audience score because I can't say that I would think this one would be a crowd pleaser, but
that's because you
can't. Not for me.
You can't get past some things.
Yeah,
I will say in my screening, I went to one of them screenings that influencer quote unquote hosts, and it was packed, and they were into it.
Yeah, he knows his audience.
There were claps in the whatchamacallit. People laughed. I did not, but people, yeah. Okay, so Black Critic Spotlight. We're gonna shout out this week Shawn Edwards, who is over at what actually does criticism for a broadcast entity, Fox 4 in Kansas City. Shawn is also very active with the Critics' Choice Association and their celebration of Black television and film. Anyway, he rated the film 2 out of 5 tomatoes and said, quote, "At this point, ... I can't tell all 3 Avatar movies apart." And same.
Yeah. You know what? One thing I did want to mention. Oh my God.
Okay, you always want to mention stuff. Now, what you got?
I'm sorry to hold us up, but one thing that did frustrate me is that for this movie to have been titled Fire and Ash, I didn't get enough fire or ash in this movie.
What you mean the whole last hour is fire and ash?
But is it though? Like
Yes.
when I went into this movie, I thought this was going to be a movie in the same way that Way of Water was, that introduced us to a new tribe and a new world. But what we get of the fire and ash people is essentially just told to us through exposition. Like we never got to see the world they lived in. We just get to see them essentially trying to conquer other people's worlds because their world was ruined by the volcano. And that was a letdown for me. But I'm not gonna hold us up. We can move right along.
Yeah. Let's move right on along. We're gonna take a break, okay? And we will come back with Black Cinema Games.
Back again, and now it's time for my favorite segment this week and every week, Black Cinema Games.
Pew, 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 pew.
All right, Tre'vell, so this week we are returning to one of my tried and trues, 5 on it.
I got 5 on it.
Hey, yes. And so this week, the premise of the game is that we're going to name 5 movies in 5 categories related to today's movie, Avatar: Fire and Ash, starring Zoe Saldaña. And again, 5 plus 5 equals what?
10.
And we're putting 10 seconds on
Crazy.
the board.
Crazy.
I can't believe I got you with that again.
Crazy. I was like, where's this going?
All right, so are you ready?
Let's do it.
We got 5 rounds, and we're playing 5 on it, where you're naming
Oh my
5
God.
movies
Oh
based
God.
on the category.
Oh my God. I hope they're not all Zoe Saldana movies, because my God.
We'll see.
Okay,
All
let's
right.
do it. Let's go with number 1.
Round 1, we're naming 5 for 5, and you're going to be naming 5 Zoe Saldaña films.
Oh
Time
God.
on the board.
Okay, Zoe films. Okay, Avatar. I will not do Avatar 1 through 3 because that's cheating. Guardians of the Galaxy, Colombiana. Nina Simone, whatever that one was called, the Nina Simone one.
I'll take it.
I'm past my 10 seconds, I think, but
You are.
I actually should get credit for Avatar 1 through 3 because technically 3 different movies.
Not you trying to... I won't say cheat, but you're trying to game the system.
Well, they get to game the system. Why can't I? I'm just kidding. But okay, how did I do? I think I only got 4. I don't think I got the 5th one.
I mean, if you throw an Avatar, which technically you can, you hit the mark.
Okay.
You hit the mark.
Well,
so I'll give that
I
to
am
you.
a winner. What can I say?
Are you getting real cocky and confident over there?
I know, but you know. You know.
All right, so we got 1 point on the board. We're doing 10. I'm kidding. We're not doing 10.
I was about 10. I was like, I don't know. He changed the rules on me, y'all.
All right, so we are playing 5 on it, and you have 10 seconds to name 5 things in each category. Are you ready for your second category?
I am ready for number 2.
All right. Round 2. Name 5 Black directors who have directed movies with a budget of over $100 million, similar to the Avatar series.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Sinners. F. Gary Gray. Am I naming the movie? Oh, Ava DuVernay. Nia DaCosta.
3, 2,
Ooh.
1. You almost had it.
I couldn't.
You almost had it.
I was trying to think of the movies and I couldn't.
So you had a few good ones on there. Some you missed were Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, which was directed by Tim Story at a budget of $130 million.
Oh, okay, Tim Story. I see you.
I can't believe you skipped Black Panther, Ryan Coogler, $200 million. That was right there. But you went with Sinners, so sure.
Yes.
Another F. Gary is the Fate of the Furious. That was a thing.
Fate of the Furious. Fast. That's one of the Fast and the Furious movies. Yeah.
You got Marvels with Nia DaCosta. That was about $220 to $270 million. I'm surprised you didn't mention Ava DuVernay's A Wrinkle in Time. Did you mention that?
I said Ava DuVernay.
Oh,
That's what
you did.
I said
All right.
Ava.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Word. And one more that you could have mentioned, it was technically co-directed, but I would have accepted it, was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse from 2023, directed by Kent Powers.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So almost.
I didn't get
what's
that.
Homegirl song? Almost there, but not quite. Almost doesn't count. I have so many
okay.
songs going on in my head. Let me focus. All right.
Okay, if you wanted to do the soundbite game, we could have done the soundbite game.
All right, we got 2 points on the board. Are you ready for round 3?
Yes. I don't think I got that last one, so I don't think I got points for that.
Oh, you're right, you didn't. So you got 1 point on the board after 2 questions.
Yes.
Great. All right, round 3, we're playing
myself
5 on it,
honest.
where you're naming 5 movies or actors within a category. And this category is actually going to be an actors category.
Oh.
So you're going to be naming, as we know, Zoe Saldaña. She won Best Supporting Actress at this year's Academy Awards for her role as attorney Rita in the controversial musical crime film thriller Amelia Perez.
Mm-hmm.
So I've already asked you in the previous Black Cinema Games to name the Black supporting actresses who have also won at the Oscars. So this year we're going to flip it and go to the men's side. And I'm going to ask you to name 5 Black actors who also won Oscars for Best Supporting Actor, starting now. 10 seconds on the
Supporting
board.
Mahershala Ali, Denzel Washington,
3,
Jamie. No, he was the
2,
lead.
1.
10 seconds is not fair. Okay, y'all.
It's not much.
Y'all know I got a little ticky boom boom here that I need to process and download the question. You know I'm old, but go ahead.
And that's why we're putting ticks on the clock, like they say in Wicked.
Ticks on the clock.
We're just a clock tick away.
Okay, Forrest Whitaker. Or was that lead as well?
It was lead. So the ones you've missed, Daniel Kaluuya in Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yes.
Mahershala Ali technically could have counted for 2 because he's won this category twice for Moonlight and Green
And
Book.
Green Book, yes.
Yes. Morgan Freeman with $1 Million Baby.
Yes.
Cuba Gooding Jr. for Jerry Maguire.
Mm-hmm.
And the leader of the pack, the one who started it all, the history maker himself, Louis Gossett Jr. for An Officer and a Gentleman, which, he first won back in 1982. So, all right, Tre'vell, I did take it kind of soft on you with last week's Christmas episode. So this week we're really pushing you.
So you said, yeah, and twist.
All right, so we're now at round 4. You only have 1 point on the board. You still have 2 more chances to score. Are you ready for round 4?
I am. I'm still in high spirits.
Not me rhyming. I didn't even plan on it.
Okay.
Round 4, ready for more. All right. Anyway.
Okay. You think you're
We're
a
calling
rapper?
this category, maybe.
Okay.
We're calling this category the Neytiri effect. And I'm going to ask you to name Black female action stars. This is broad, Tre'vell, so you should get this
Black
one. I'm putting
female
time on the
action
board.
stars?
Starting now. Yes.
Denai
10 seconds on the
Guerrera,
board. Yep,
Viola Davis.
Okay, yes, she's winning.
Cynthia Erivo.
1-0. How did you not get this, Tre'vell? This was too easy.
Because first of all, in this essay, I will.
Baby, this was too easy.
Actions? I guess I could have said a whole bunch of
You
people.
could name damn near anybody, honestly.
Right. I guess I was trying to
We
think
got
of like
Pam Grier, Halle Berry, Angela Bassett, Lashana Lynch, Regina King.
I could have just done the whole Black Panther cast.
You
huh?
could, yeah.
But that's cheating. That's boring.
It's not cheating if it's right.
Well, see,
I mean,
my problem is the way that my mind works. Okay, the way that I show up on the spectrum. My mind don't go that way. It go.
we ain't got to bring diagnosis up in this.
Well,
we gonna move it forward.
That's what the TikToks
All right.
say.
We are on our last and final round.
Yes.
Tre'vell.
Okay. I'm gonna get this one.
I think it's realized that we're not going to exactly put 5 on it, and by on it I mean the board.
That's okay.
So
That's okay.
You have a chance to score 1 more point here.
Think you clever.
Round 5 of 5 on it. I'm going to give you an actress that I'm hoping, knowing, I think you're primed to answer it and deliver for.
Okay.
And I want you to name roles. All right. We're playing 5 on it. You have 10 seconds
I'm nervous.
to give me 5 films, 5 roles from the Miss CC Pounder.
Oh no. No, I'm
10 seconds on the board.
No, down in the Delta. CCH Pounder.
3,
Oh no, I'm sorry,
one.
legend. I'm so
Oh my
sorry,
God.
icon. Oh my God. Oh,
For the people
no.
at home, I actually primed Tre'vell for this because I brought her up intentionally so that they had a chance at getting this.
But
at least
see,
putting
I
them on her
have
mind.
I have character. I have good character. I don't go try to cheat. Okay, I try to have an authentic experience for the people. But I am
But I at
so
least wanted to
sorry.
put her in your head.
I'm so
Oh.
sorry to the legend CCH Pounder that I could not think of nary a film role. I could have got to some TV
You could
ones
have got
perhaps.
somewhere, girl.
But
Damn.
dang, I short circuited.
You sure did.
Wasn't she
You
on
sure
like
did.
Private Practice? Something
But
like
this
that?
is Black Cinema Game, so I need the movie roles.
I don't even know what
some of
she's
her
been in.
roles, Some of her roles included Disappearing Act, where she played Mrs. Swift. The Naked Gun, which came out this year, where she played Chief Davis.
I should have said Avatar.
The Red Water. I mean, she was in all three of them, I believe. So you could have said that. She was in Godzilla King of Monsters as Senator Williams. And yeah, you had options, Tre'vell. I don't know where the ball dropped.
Was she in Rustin?
She was in Rustin.
See, but here's the thing about CC. First of all, I want to say CCH Pounder is a legend, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Black Hollywood icon. However, she be playing a lot of people in the background. She play a lot of heads of cop shows and doctors and
I don't blame her for it. Get paid, young, get paid.
I guess.
Get paid, young, get paid.
you know.
So do you know what the CCH and CCH Pounder stands for?
I do not.
Damn, I'm trying to give you points.
I
here,
do not.
Tre'vell. I'm trying to literally.
Why would I
hand
know?
points over
Why
to
would
you.
I know what the CCH stand for and CCH Pounder? She obviously don't want us to know what the C and the H is. That's why she go by the whatchamacallit. I also want to say, because somebody out there is laughing at me for saying she was in Down in the Delta, and the movie I meant to say was Funny Valentine. Okay,
I was gonna let that rock. I wasn't even gonna.
no, because I come on
You
this
was
show.
just naming black shit.
I was, but I knew she was in a movie with Loretta Devine, and that's why I went to Down in the Delta. Loretta and that other lady, Alfred Woodard. Anyway, I come
In
on
other
this show
words,
every
Tre'vell
week.
says we all look alike.
Wow. First of all, I would never. Second of all, I told you that I have, I be working through things now. Jeez.
Well, for the people at home, the CCH and CCH Pounder stands for Carol Christine Hilaria, which I think is a beautiful name. Yes.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why we know her by the C, the C, and the H.
Anyway, all right.
No shade.
So
Her choice, not mine.
Technically, we should only have 5 categories here, but I want to give you one more chance because putting 1 point on the board, Tre'vell, is just
Listen,
come on.
I don't have a problem with failure. Okay?
Well,
But I'll
think
take the
that many
opportunity.
people-
I'll take the opportunity.
Many people are actually surprised to learn that Laz Alonso is in the Avatar series.
Uh-huh.
And so,
As I
with that
was.
in mind, I'm going to throw in one more question, making it now 6 or 5 on it, which, whatever.
Please don't ask me about what that man been in.
Tre'vell, I was going to keep it broad. If you could name any Laz
Okay,
Alonso role,
okay.
just give me 5 of them.
Okay.
Just give me 5 Laz Alonso
Okay,
roles. We are at the theaters now.
I got. Come on. Start the
10
time.
seconds on the board.
Okay.
There we go.
He's in This Christmas. He's in Stomp the Yard. He's in Avatar. That's where I run out. Oh, Jump in the Broom.
My God, today. All right.
He in Jump in the
all right.
Broom.
He is in Jump in the Broom, but you still ain't quite get there.
And he was also in this movie. See, this is why I just need more time. Because he was also in this
Christmas?
movie. I said This
Stomp the
Christmas.
Yard?
I said that too.
Oh.
I did those two. I said This Christmas, Stomp the Yard. I got Jump in the Broom, and I got something else, Avatar. But he was also in this movie with
Disappearing Acts?
no. Oh no. He was in this movie with I think Paula Patton. A number of years ago, maybe like 2017, 18, called Traffic. That's not helpful.
Paula Patton was in that too?
I think that was Paula Patton, or either it was Paula Patton or was the other lady who looked like Paula Patton.
See, here you go again. We all do not look alike, Tre'vell. My goodness.
But there is another lady who looked like Paula Patton. But it's
'Cause
not
I know
Paula Patton.
he did Jump in the Broom with Paula Patton, so I was
Right.
surprised to hear a second one. But okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Tre'vell, you got one more chance
Another
to
one?
put points on the board.
You're being
because
so kind.
When we have a black lead actress, you know
Yes.
that means that we have the IMDb best 4 known
Oh,
4
no.
films on their page.
Oh no. Okay.
Tre'vell.
Yes. I'm
not even gonna put the timer on for this.
I don't need the timer.
Can you name Zoe Saldana's 4 known 4 films according to her IMDb page?
Yes. Avatar.
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Oh dang. I had another one, but I just lost it. Amelia Perez?
Actually, no.
I hope not the
not
Nina
one.
Simone movie.
Absolutely not.
She's been in so many things. Oh my God. I'm going blank.
The other 2 you're missing are both genre films.
Oh, see, I don't watch it because it's not Colombiana. Colombiana's
It is
good.
Colombiana.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Colombiana's great. That might be her best role that I like. Anyway, and what else?
The other one is another space franchise.
Oh, girl. Star Trek, Star Wars.
Yes. Oh, we got there. Thank you, Lord.
You know what? I hope that you get.
I'll be rooting for you, Tre'vell.
I
I'll
hope-
really be rooting for you.
I hope that you get a nice treat in your stocking. I'm so grateful for your support through that and this and everything.
Ooh, because baby.
But also, I think. Never mind. I won't make no other comment about her movies, because y'all know.
We only got a few. I'm surprised you never threw Drumline in there.
The legend.
All right, that's going to wrap up this week's Black Cinema Games.
I forgot that's her in there.
My God, today.
I wonder if she. Never mind. Okay, let's move on to wrapping this show up with our Good Vibes Only segment. These are our recommendations from us to you all about what's keeping our vibes going well. You kick us off, Ray.
All right, so for me this week, I really was pressed to find something that required less of my time. Because as we know, this movie, Avatar, Fire and Ash, was a long one. And I needed something when I left that theater that was short, quick, digestible, and enjoyable. And so my recommendation this week is going to be one of my favorite YouTube creators, Will on a Whim.
Your Christmas will never be the same.
Twerk for Santa, twerk for Santa, twerk for Santa, and his little elf crew. Twerk for Santa, twerk for Santa, twerk for Santa, and his reindeer too. Twerk for Santa, twerk for Santa, twerk for Santa. You know what to do. Twerk for Santa, twerk for Santa, twerk for Santa. Just twerk it for Santa.
Twerking is the Santa, gotta twerk it like this.
Now, Will on a Whim, he is a YouTube creator I followed for years. He's done long vlogs. He's done the whole travel series. He's taken us with him to Renaissance. But I want to particularly shout out his stint with Vlogmas this year. He does a really fun Vlogmas series each year. This is, I believe, his 2nd or 3rd year doing it. He has a really catchy theme song, Twerk for Santa. I'll drop it here so you can hear it. And he's just a fun watch. He has a great personality. He edits really well. He has such like an encyclopedic knowledge of internet memes. So he lives on the internet. So yeah, I'm going to shout out Will on a Whim this week. That is what's giving me good vibes and carrying me through the rest of 2025. Tre'vell, hit us with your good vibes only. Let us know.
So my good vibes only, y'all know I like for my vibes to try to relate to the movie that we have discussed each episode. And so when I was thinking about this, I had in my head the if you've seen any of the avatars, you know that there's this like spirit, underwater spirit tree organism thing. Right. And so thinking of that tree made me think of the beautiful landscapes that are captured in this 1991 film, Daughters of the Dust.
Never forget who we is and how far we done come.
Okay, by the
yes.
legendary Julie Dash, written, directed, and
Canon.
produced by. Yes, this is canon. If you have not seen the film, it's set in 1902. It centers on 3 generations of Gullah women in South Carolina. Shout out to my people, as they are migrating from the South to the North, basically. And so it has a wonderful, beautiful, great usage of the Gullah language. If you've never seen it, many of the stars of this film are Gullah. Arthur Jaffa, who's a noted filmmaker in and of himself, was the DP on Julie Dash's Daughter of the Dust. And yeah, it's a great film. It's a wonderful film. It is a canonical film. But I just remembered thinking of the trees that are captured in Daughters of the Dust, and likening it to the trees and the spirit of the source within Avatar. So that is my recommendation. And I believe Daughters of the Dust is fairly accessible now. Like, you probably can catch it on like a Canopy, which if you don't have Canopy, if you can usually get if you have a library card, you know, particularly if you're in LA, but this might be in other cities as well, you can use your library card to access a lot of these services, the educational ones, you know.
Come on, resources. We love a good resource.
No, drop something. Okay, so we have Will on a Whim Vlogmas on the YouTube, as well as Daughters of the Dust by Julie Dash. And that will do it for this week, beautiful people. And our last review of 2025.
It is indeed our final review episode.
Dang,
yes, it is.
I wish it was a better one. You know, like just.
I mean, I feel like this is the closeout that 2025 deserves, to be honest.
Well, you said it, okay? You said it, okay?
But this will not be the last you hear of Seated this year, because we do have one last episode coming out for you next week to close out 2025.
Yes.
So check that out. It's going to be our Super Seated Awards, where we're going down our list of superlatives, we're calling them, for 2025.
Yes.
So check us out, and we will see you next week.
Yes, we will. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like and tap that subscribe button. And if you're listening, give us a 5-star rating and review in your podcast app or wherever you're tapping in today. It'll really help folks find us as we grow. Seated is an independently funded production, and your support can help us go further. Consider becoming a card-carrying member of the Seated Movie Club at seatedshow.com/join, where we'll bring you more of this popcorn-worthy content, special events, and more. And how do we do all that we do? Well, you know it's not by ourselves. Our theme music was created by Buckrow and animation by Ashung Adi, with creative consulting by Jade Fox and publicity support by House of Arrows. This week's episode was edited by me, Ray Love Jr. Seated is a co-production of Slay Jean and 5011 Media. It's hosted and produced by Tre'vell Anderson and Ray Love Jr. Shout out to our location partner, The Walcott Yard. See you at the movies. Holla! My head on straight?
Yes.
Is my wig shifting? Sorry, I don't know where that came from.